All right, this is some fun stuff here. So this is the second in a series of like 5 tapes where the detectives interview a Zimmerman. Let me just jump ahead. This is a fun one here, so let's just do this.
Alright, sir, what is your name?
The point where you said, are you following me? You said, well, did you do that? What went through your mind?
He's right.
So you should have stopped and went back to your vehicle.
I still wanted to give him an address.
I love this one.
So at this point he has to be hiding from you.
I don't know where.
Well,
I don't see it.
well, the laws of physics said that he's hiding from you at this point. He could not have made it home.
It's like something I would say.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't following him. I was just going in the same direction he was. Once he
That's
said,
following.
Okay, you guys, I've been saying it
long.
over and over. That's a little bit too long. Over and over, I have been saying this, that going in the same direction. You know, you could tell mommy I wasn't following. I was just going to the place that's in the same direction. I wasn't going to my friend's house. I was on the way to the corner by my friend's house. What were you going to do there? For my friend. Oh, it's following, ending up in the same place as somebody is following. Now, if you don't know that where the person is, fine, but he did know he was in that direction. Okay, let's just go through the rest of these.
Jogging, trotting, describe the run.
I don't remember. Because I was on the phone.
This is weird.
Which way did they run?
Okay, is that you getting out of the car?
Yes.
Okay, we all knew that was him getting out of the car, but George says he got out of the car here at the clubhouse. Was the car parked at the clubhouse? Is that why they were out of wind? They ran all the way along there? And then what's with the car supposedly being in the other location? Is that just what George said? Is that one of the lies? Because we've all fallen for that one or something. George says he got out of the car at the clubhouse here. So, wait, I can't blame that lie on George. He says he got out at the clubhouse. Oh, weird. This is a good one.
He jumped out of the car to see where he was going.
Yes.
Okay. That's not fear. All right? Yes. That's one of the problems I have. The whole thing is just, well, I'm going to have. I don't have problems at all. It's just that's never a problem.
See, that guy's mostly playing the good cop, and the female cop's more the just grilling. He slipped up there. That's a problem I have. No, not that I have a problem, but you know, it's going to be a problem.
Fucking what?
Punk.
So at this point he has to be hiding from you.
I don't know where.
Well,
I don't see it.
well, the laws of physics said that he's hiding from you at this point. He could not have made it home. Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't following him. I was just going in the same direction he was. Once he
That's
said,
following.
Well, I thought. I mean,
if you were okay.
You did not tell me that you said, "Oh shit, he's running," and then got out of the car and went that same direction at the same time. See what the problem is?
Yes, sir.
And I asked you, did you look for him? And you told me no. You told me the reason that you got out of your car was to get an address.
Yes.
Ooh. Okay, just one more real quick. There's a whole bunch in between here, but this is good, so.
That you're concerned about having a flashlight to move back where you just ran?
You're looking
Trying to
for
catch up
him.
to him. See what I'm saying?
No.
Okay, it sounds like you're looking for him.
You brought a flashlight with you.
Yes, sir.
You wanted to be able to see him.
You want to catch him? You want to catch the bad
No,
guy?
it doesn't. That's
Fucking punk can't get away. Listen, we're outside that interrogation room, okay? We are in a whole different area right here, okay? This is where, you know what I mean, this is why I took you out of there. So you can hear this. So I can recall your memory and let you see if you say walk back to your car and you still outside your car from it, you're not going to believe anything I have to say. And that's what I'm saying. Is there anything that you need to clarify right now? Did you pursue this kid? Did you want to catch him?
No.
Okay, it's not you. It's not what you're about.
Why did you?
No, man. No, I wasn't about that. See, he's saying he didn't follow him. He said he followed him on the 9/11 tape. All right. Well, I don't know. For those of you pretending to be or trying to be rational, yeah, this latest information of Zimmerman's statement to the police, and then the walkthrough, and then there's an audio walkthrough of the two detectives that's really, really fun to listen to. But the holes are getting huge, and I'm not going to bother quoting which of those sources I'm talking about. I just absorbed all of them yesterday, and we can get back to that. But yeah, so there's a couple huge things now that were already there, but now we have in George's own words. Okay, one thing. Well, look, actually, let's go through this, because they added to this map since yesterday. Here's what Zimmerman says. He says he's seeing Trayvon here, which is where I predicted he was coming in. It's also what Jay Lexicon thought. I don't think he rode up on him here. I think he made it was over here. I think Trayvon was still more or less just not very spooked when he started walking. I think it was when he walked by Zimmerman's car and he's on the phone glaring and etc., and you could see. So here's the weird part. He says he parked there at the clubhouse to call authorities. But isn't that phone? Does he back up and drive again and then pull around while he's on the phone? He's on the phone when he drives by the mailboxes. On the other hand, he's in a car, so let's say Trayvon's still walking along here. You know? And he leaves before then? I don't know. That's odd. But the big, big hole is that he confirmed what his dad and Tappy says, which is that he was attacked here. He says he went over here, came back, and then Trayvon's coming from this direction and attacks him right here, punches him, they fall down, they have the whole concrete combat right over here, but the body is found dead over here. So that's a huge fucking hole in a world of inches for your position to be that far off. And he's even talking, he says he had kind of a half conversation with the John witness, again, who's over here. How could he have been here? And he talked to this guy in there? And this woman saw it all happening over here too? Yeah. So that's a huge thing. The other thing that the cops got him on for was he says that Trayvon had his both hands over George's mouth and nose, and yet the screaming, there's no muffling, there's no it getting louder and less louder, and you can scream around a muffle, but you can hear the muffling part, and there's no sounds from Trayvon screaming, and George says Trayvon was screaming, "Shut the fuck up," and things like that. And then also John and some other witness, I'm pretty sure, but was saying that the screams were coming closer. So how was he pinned on the ground in a single location? Yeah. We also had just a double confirmation of some ridiculous things. That George does say that he got punched repeatedly over and over in the face, and there's no marks on Trayvon's hands. So it's not even clear that George's face didn't come from a fall, from the scrambling around. I mean, I believe they could have fallen half on the concrete and rolled around on the concrete, but this just looks like a shoving match in terms of how wounded these guys are, and the wounds look like from falling and things like this, not from skin and bone to skin and bone. So yeah, those are huge holes, and you guys are going to keep going, well, was that before or after? I mean, none of George's story is credible. Anything that we only believe that is a theory just because of what George says, that's not good enough. You're going to have to think of, well, what if we didn't have George's testimony? What if we're trying to find out what happens and both of these guys die, George kills Trayvon and has a heart attack right after he admits it, and then we're like, what the fuck happened? Do we think that the altercation took place up here? No, it would be these two witnesses. We'd assume the altercation took place back here where it really did. So we're getting better information by pretending George's testimony doesn't exist. The main purpose of George's testimony at this point is going to be the same purpose of his phone calls to his wife. Laundering money that was his to begin with and legal, so he didn't have to launder it, for some weird little inner fantasy life that George is living. It's the same thing. He's told lies here that don't make much sense. Whatever. And if they're not lies, then he's just a tremendously bad witness. I mean, if they're not lies, then he's delusional. I mean, you know what I'm saying? He's more insane and less reliable if these aren't lies. Because there'll be no convincing him to tell the truth if he just doesn't even know the truth.